of sound.
What have you been listening to lately, Troy?
Well, per usual, I'm very big on my classic rock, so I've been listening to a lot of Boston, a lot of Pink Floyd, a lot of Led Zeppelin, but also some of the solo artists, as their groups broke up for whatever reason. So from Pink Floyd, David Gilmour; from Led Zeppelin, Robert Plant and Jimmy Page; also Roger Waters from Pink Floyd. So yeah, a lot of the classics.
What's your favorite comic book based song?
Ooh. There are a couple, actually. Magneto and the Titanium Man, Paul McCartney.
All right.
I can't get away from that one. And I also like the Kinks' Catch Me Now I'm Falling, which references Captain America.
Okay.
R.E.M., I Am Superman.
Sure.
Yeah.
Those are some good ones.
Yeah.
Good ones.
So you know what else is good?
What else is good?
Our audience out there, they're tuning in to our video cast here at Flashback Comics.
They're
Ladies
our
and gentlemen,
favorites.
Our favorite people are tuning in to watch us. You're all awesome. Here I am, Troy David Phillips, manager of Flashback Comics, and with me is my good friend and co-host, Kevin Gaussoin of ComicsOnline.com for everything
geek pop culture. And so, as always, I want to introduce and say hello again, and welcome to the Comics Online Podcast, Season 15, Episode 30.
Episode 30.
Okay. And of course, with us as always is Troy, and here we are at Flashback. And oh my goodness, we've got a good week in comics this week. The part one, as always, is all about comics. We're doing our top 5 comics right here in the store at Flashback in Woodbridge, and then from there we're going to talk about everything geek pop culture in parts 2 and 3. So
maybe we will. Maybe we'll talk about men's clothing.
It could happen.
Yeah.
The beverages, we'll talk about beverages pretty much without fail. It's a Tesseract Tuesday, so we're going to be talking about beverages.
Well, fortunately, I have the power of the Man of Steel today, so I can handle that Tesseract.
All right.
I have powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, because I am a strange visitor from another planet.
Can you bend steel?
In my bare hands. Change the course of mighty rivers, race faster than a speeding bullet.
And who, disguised as Troy David Phillips, fights a never-ending battle of, hey, you don't have it, you need it. Right here in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Oh, my phrase has been co-opted.
We had better get started on our top 5. Troy?
Yes, indeed.
Your top 5 looks interesting.
Well, it is. Now, Kevin's going to hold this up, and I'm just going to say, I have always believed that comics aren't just for kids, but comics should also include kids. And for the first time in a very long time, we are seeing Walt Disney titles being published. Right here in front of you is Uncle Scrooge, #1. Uncle Scrooge, IDW. Little unusual that IDW is the publisher.
Parenthetically, 405. So I love it when companies do that. Marvel did that for a little bit. Thank you, IDW, for paying homage back to the Gold Key.
Back to, well, yes, the Gold Keys, the Whitmans, all of the various iterations that Gladstone, don't forget Gladstone Publishing.
Yeah.
So, yes, indeed. We've got some classic stuff in here. Uncle Scrooge stories, the sorts of things that many of us have grown up with, and kind of wonder, hey, I'd like to get my kids into reading comics. What's good for them? Here you go. Classic Disney characters. Look for others also from IDW. Coming in May, Donald Duck joins in. And also, this is not one of those, but Disney, through their publisher Marvel, has given us Seekers of the Weird, Disney Kingdoms, and Figment, and currently Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So Disney has a presence on the shelves, and these comics are great for readers of all ages. Maybe you're a young reader just getting into it. Maybe you're an older reader coming back to something that you loved. Here it is.
Looks like Huey, Dewey, and Louie are fans of Luke Cage, as they shout on this page, "Sweet Christmas!" Love it.
Yes,
this artwork looks like obviously they have to go and be authentic and be true to the original Karl Barks style.
Sure.
And they've really done a great job. I'm seeing a couple of Italian writers here, or 3 Italian: Rodolfo Samino, Alberto Savini, Romano Scarpa, and Luca Bocchi. Boschi? I don't know. Sorry. And then we've got artists Romano Scarpa, Andrea Freccero, and Romano Scarpa again. Bunch of Italians doing this and killing it.
Well, see, here, notice translation and dialogue, because some of these will be translated.
Nice.
Yes, indeed.
These might have just been IDW saying, hey, Italian publisher, you got all that backlog, hook it up in America.
Come check this out. So yes, indeed. Parents, you're wondering what to get for your kids. Here is yet another alternative for you. And at Flashback, I like to keep young reader things up and out for parents. Now, moving on. DC has been doing this thing, and I am just getting more and more excited about it as the weeks unfold. This is Convergence issue number 3. If you've been following, then you know all about the cities that have been trapped in the domes by Brainiac. Brainiac's minion Telos has lowered the domes and released those inside the cities, and we are seeing heroes in contention with other heroes, or at least we will see heroes in contention with other heroes. The main Convergence book picks up the plot lines left from Future's End and Earth 2 World's End and dovetails them together. The individual titles spotlight specific characters from specific time periods, and on the insides, and we're going to get to that in just a second, the inside front cover will actually give you a key as to where these cities are from. So if you were reading last week's books, you undoubtedly saw Electropolis, which was first introduced to us in Crisis on Infinite Earths. You were treated to the Heroes of Kingdom Come, which was introduced to us in that series Kingdom Come. Exactly. So for someone like Kevin, who is a New 52 naysayer, this actually returns Kevin to a much earlier point in DC publishing, which could get him jazzed and excited. Are you a fan of Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew? Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew are back. Are you a fan of the character that Keith Giffen made famous? Ambush Bug. Okay, I lied. He's not famous. But he is funny, and Keith Giffen definitely did a runaway job with him. Ambush Bug. What more can I tell you? There is a lot going on in the pages of Convergence and the Convergence tie-ins. This week, we're going to see, as we fight for our city, we're going to see pre-crisis Earth 1 Gotham City. We're going to see New York City, Earth AD, Commandy, Last Boy on Earth. We're going to see Central City from the Tangent universe, Gotham City from the Red Rain universe. There's a lot going on here. Like I said, there have been... I don't even know exactly how many realities Brainiac has captured and taken pieces from. Probably 52. But as those domes come down, as characters who were temporarily depowered find themselves re-empowered, yeah, we're moving on here. Show them the cover. This is Convergence The Flash.
Number 1 of 2.
And... I haven't read Flash yet, but I did read Speed Force. Speed Force had Wally West and his twin children, Jai and Iris. And treated us to, sorry for the spoilers if you haven't read it yet, Fastback, the turtle speedster from Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew.
Oh, okay.
He's in that. So I'm excited about The Flash. You know what else I'm excited about, Kevin? Hit him with my next pick.
What? Convergence Hackman.
Convergence Hackman. If you read Nightwing Oracle from 2 weeks ago, then you saw a version of Hawkman and Hawkwoman. Somewhat ultra-violent. This version will be different, but again, we're jumping around the multiverse here. We got a lot going on. Hawkman, Hawkwoman, I absolutely love this pair of characters. I love Hawkman. It's not even funny for how long I've liked this character.
What's your favorite iteration? I mean, obviously Hawkman has had his history changed quite a bit over the years.
I think my 2 favorite versions of him are, of course, Qatar Hall from Thanagar. Shadow War of Hawkman is one of my favorite Hawk stories. And then I very much like the Jeff Johns rewrite of the character from JSA, The Return of Hawkman. Mm-hmm. Also, I have Convergence Wonder Woman. Again, Wonder Woman is a character that I have liked for a very, very long time. My favorite iteration, before you ask, would undoubtedly be the George Perez iteration. Yeah. I certainly mean no offense to the greats that have handled her as well. Certainly her original incarnations. Gail Simone is one of my favorite writers. I actually like J. Michael Straczynski's take on him. Not everyone does, but I do. I like Dodson's artwork. I like Beland's artwork. There's a lot of good Wonder Woman stuff. My personal favorite is George Perez, but you're not me, so you should read a lot of Wonder Woman and determine what your own personal favorite is.
Ooh, hey, G.I. Joe fans, this is written by Larry Hama.
Larry Hama, yes, a very good writer. One of the reasons why G.I. Joe is consistently good. Nice. It's not just a toy advertisement, but we're not talking about G.I. Joe. We're talking about I'm just talking about Shaft. Actually, I'm talking about Convergence Wonder Woman. So, yes, Convergence, stop in and pick those up. I've still got a lot of them, but they are starting to go. People are picking them up, and they are picking them up by the handfuls. Issue 0 is still on the shelf, issue 1, issue 2, and soon to join it, issue 3. So DC's Convergence is fantastic. It's a break definitely from DC's normal title line while they're moving to the West Coast, but it's a wonderful break.
All right. So there's your top 5, and I've got my top 5 starting out here.
Would you like me to pick this up and hold it up for the camera?
I would, but I'm like, is it just published by Joe? This is Lady Mechanika, and if you haven't already checked out some of the miniseries of Lady Mechanika, you should do so, because not only do you have beautiful ladies in amazing outfits, but you've got action and adventure, and what we've got about 5 trades up to this point, something like that. Oh, and by the way, here we are with Lady Mechanika, the Tablet of Destinies #1, and of course we've got a 2-sided poster in the middle. So hey, you feel like pulling out posters? Buy 2 of these, and then you can pull it out without fear.
And then you'll be men without fear.
Then you will. If you're a man or if you're a woman, you can be a woman without fear. It's fine. We're good with that. That's beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful artwork. Joe Benitez, of course, San Diego guy, much like myself, and I got to shout him out not only for his San Diego-ness, but God, just beautiful art and such an amazing creation here, bordering on, some people will say, oh yeah, this is obviously steampunk, and then some steampunk purists might say, oh, but it's not my kind. Well, it is a kind, so enjoy it or lump it, I think I would like to say.
If I could just break in for a second here.
Yes, please.
The Tablet of Destinies holds the knowledge of the gods and the secrets of the universe. He who possesses it shall rule the world. From a Sumerian legend.
All right.
So yeah, I think that's the least you need to know.
How many? What I kind of want to know is how many issues are in this limited series.
I don't know that it said.
It doesn't.
So you know what?
This is chapter 1.
Well, why don't you email your good buddy Joe there and ask him?
Yeah. Well, we'll see him at San Diego Comic-Con this year, and talk to him about Lady Mechanika. #2 for this week is Avengers Operation Hydra #1. Now, this is the variant cover, and I didn't even notice what the original cover looked like, so I apologize. But this is Operation Hydra. This looks like a throwback. This looks like an old comic from years past.
Avengers #16, which was the first major lineup change for the Avengers. Avengers #16, Cap on the cover, just blazing it out there, Avengers Assemble. And of course, we historians know that the call would be answered by Hawkeye and Quicksilver and his sister, the Scarlet Witch. They would fill in the roles that Thor, Iron Man, and Giant Man and the Wasp left when they took their hiatuses from the team.
They wouldn't be gone for long, of course.
Actually, Giant Man and the Wasp didn't come back until issue 28.
And, in the grand scheme of things, like I say, not all that long. This Avengers Operation Hydra limited series is written by Will Corona Pilgrim and drawn by Andrea DeVito. With Laura Villari
as the colorist.
As a colorist.
Because I like to shout out the colorist.
He does, and I can't stop him. So
hey, the colorist is important too.
It's got a very kind of top-end animated look. You already showed them the pictures.
Yes,
yeah?
I did.
All
yes,
right, so I won't even have to describe it, but I'm interested in checking it out because I'm enjoying Hydra stories in, well, everywhere I see them these days.
Ready?
Ready. Also by Marvel, Black Vortex. What? Black Vortex is back again, and of course, this is the crossover between Guardians of the Galaxy and
all new X-Men.
And it's all new and all exciting and all interesting, and we're enjoying it quite a bit so far. As I might have mentioned originally, the what's that trope called? The thing that brings everyone together. What's the
Siege Perilous.
The Siege Perilous.
Siege Perilous. The Black Vortex is like a magic mirror. You look into it, and it shows you this completely badass version of yourself, pardon the profanity. You go through the mirror, and you come out the other side, and you are altered. But not only has your appearance been changed, not only have you been given this power, but your mentality has also been altered. A little bit different from the Siege Perilous that we've seen in the past. With the Siege Perilous, you had no idea what you would come out the other side looking like. You wouldn't be in the same place, possibly not even the same time. The
word I was looking for was MacGuffin.
MacGuffin.
That's what I was looking for.
MacGuffin.
You know, that's the thing that drives the story. It's an object, the thing that people are seeking or whatever. Anyway, that's what I was looking for.
Well,
but anyway, interesting stuff. And of course, like I say, always enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy, and all new X-Men are my favorite current X-Men. So can't lose.
So yes, all new X-Men, Captain Marvel, Cyclops, Legendary Star-Lord, Guardians team up. All of that has been part of this up to Black Vortex Omega. You forgot to say Omega.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is Omega.
Black Vortex Omega. So this is the final chapter.
This is the final chapter, wrapping it up. And after that, we're going to get, just more good stories. Come on now.
Well, no, this is the Omega. This is it. This is the end of the Marvel Universe.
Aww.
Yeah, it's gone. It's all gone.
Oh, next month. Next month it all ends and gets reshuffled, and we'll have maybe some number ones, probably a lot of number ones, and it's going to be amazing, though, so whatever.
Between now and then, ladies and gentlemen, you knew Kevin was going to pick this book.
You knew I was going to pick this book. What book? Oh, Amazing Spider-Man 17.1. Why is there 0.1? I don't know. It makes me a little crazy in my brain, but okay. Look at this beautiful variant cover edition. I love it. And I love all Amazing Spider-Man since it's restarted, honestly. I'm so happy to be back with Spider-Man. Dude, can I just express that to you again? Well, so happy.
Absolutely. Now, for those readers who are not, who are new to collecting comics, what's the deal with the 0.1s? Kevin did raise a very good question. The 0.1 issue is sort of additional story that can't be fit into the actual issue itself. So from issue 17, there will be subplots that are dealt with in 17.1, while the rest of the story moves on dynamically to issue number 18. It is also possible with these to go backwards. For example, Dan Slott might decide, I need a 9.1 to go back to some story elements from number 9 that I didn't resolve. So this 9.1...
Have they done that already? Have they gone back that far?
I don't know that they've gone that far back in Amazing Spider-Man, but they have with the Avengers. It is possible to do, yes.
That's so weird. Well, whatever. It's their show, so
it's weird if you're Kevin, but for the rest of us,
we're just along for the ride. Well, particularly for folks like me who are like, oh, I'm trying to collect all these, but wait, that's not really that didn't come out in that order. I'm confused. Whatever.
Well, I just explained it to you.
Those Avengers. What was it? There was like a number and then an I because was. Those weirded me out.
It tied to something significant at that point in time.
I know, but then that was a flashback type of thing, right? That wasn't the current
right.
Wacky stuff. But whatever. In the end, it's good. This is not written, by the way. This 17.1 is not written by Dan Slott. This is
written by Jerry Conway.
Jerry Conway, who is an old timey.
Yes, veteran. We prefer the phrase veteran writer.
He's an old timey dude. Hold on to them hats and glasses. Wait, that's my old timey dude voice. And then
you ready?
Moving right along.
You ready?
Star Wars number 4, guys. Star Wars number 4. Hey, there's a Chewbacca cover for you for Star Wars #4. How have you been enjoying the Star Wars?
I love the Star Wars series. I was actually going to ask how many viewers out there actually bought one of these action figures, ripped the blister pack open, took your Chewbacca, put the blaster rifle on, and stood him side by side Han Solo and mowed down a half dozen stormtroopers.
Our cameraman producer is jumping up and down with both hands. Oh my goodness! I had so many Star Wars guys. I tried to buy my son.
Our cameraman producer probably took Voltron and pretended that Han Solo and Chewbacca piloted the red and black
He's
lions.
He's not that young.
Yes, he is.
Oh, he might be. All right. So anyway, yeah, I had so many Star Wars figures, and so I love these figure cover variants. They just make me happy. So here we are with Chewbacca. And one thing we can talk about this week is the new, in part 2, is the new Star Wars movie teaser trailer. It's not even a teaser trailer, right? I mean, that's like full 2 minutes, isn't it? Anyway, it's long enough.
That's a tease.
It's still teasing us because we've still got till Christmas. Comes out Christmas?
I believe so. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you've sat through very patiently, and you've had my top 5
and my top
Kevin's
5.
top 5. Now, Kevin would like to drop a +1 on you, and with that +1, I'm going to ride on the coattails here because I also think very highly of what Marvel has done.
Boom!
This, yes, true believers. Stan Lee used to address us in the bullpen bulletins and elsewhere as true believers.
Oh, I've got some audio where Stan Lee can introduce this by saying, "Hi, true believers, this is Stan Lee."
Exactly. So here is the Infinity Gauntlet #1, such as it was originally presented. Lord, that was 1990. So long ago.
Thanos, oh my
God. At this point in time, following the events of the Thanos quest, Thanos has gathered all 6 of the Infinity Stones, and he has put those gems on his gauntlet. Now, the gauntlet itself was just casual titanium leather, I'm sure, but with the stones, this gauntlet controlled every aspect of everything. Thanos is said in here that if he wanted cows to fly, they would. More to the point, they didn't fly because he didn't want them to.
So how do we know that Thanos isn't in control of our universe right now, and the reason that things are the way it is isn't just because of Thanos? I mean, some people say that because, hey, I've got this book and it says this, but hey, I've got Infinity Gauntlet right here and it says this, so obviously Thanos is in control of our reality. Praise him.
Well, he was until Adam Warlock got that gauntlet off his hand. And he divided the gems up and he gave them to the Infinity Watch. Eventually, those gems came into the possession of the Illuminati, and the Illuminati kept them separate unless they unanimously decided to bring them together, which they did actually attempt to prevent the universe incursions and failed. But that's a completely different story. True Believers, Infinity Gauntlet #1. It's Kevin's +1 pick. I recommend picking it up if you didn't get it the first time around.
Troy, is that a valuable comic today? Infinity Gauntlet #1?
It is, actually. I believe you could find a #1 issue going for up to $50, depending on its grade.
Right on.
The True Believers series is a way for newer readers to pick up some of the very valuable storylines that will be in the Secret Wars. So, the Planet Hulk, Old Man Logan, Infinity Gauntlet, Civil War, and others in the True Believers series. I've got a bunch of them. I unfortunately don't have all of them in the store, but I will give you what I got, and I will continue to try to get more of them, leading you into the Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, what week does it come out? Do you remember? It's soon, though.
It's May.
Oh, yeah, we know this. But is it like the first week in May?
We're going to talk about that next week. Next week.
Next week, folks.
Next week,
ladies. Are you
and
excited for next week? Because I'm excited for next week.
Kevin's excited for tomorrow. He can't wait to get out of bed.
It's true. I'm almost as old as Troy, and so I'm lucky to have it tomorrow.
He crosses off the days on his calendar until he gets to Christmas.
No, Comic-Con. Christmas is nothing. Comic-Con is what I cross the days off to.
Don't let Coraline.
We have 70-something days till Comic-Con. I don't know, but it's coming up. It's coming up, and I'm excited. And Marc's excited. Marc's coming with me. We're gonna kill it this year. We're gonna have the best Comic-Con ever. Which, would be saying something because I've had some really great Comic-Cons.
The San Diego Comic-Con is an awesome event, but don't fear, Flashbackers. I will be here at the store to provide you the level of service that you have become accustomed to.
Yeah.
So if you can't make it out to San Diego, come into Flashback Comics, and we could talk about comics and a great many things geek pop culture. And I actually do use the word "and." But speaking of "and,"
we're gonna be in a couple other events. We're gonna, we'll of course be at Wizard World Richmond. We'll of course be at Baltimore Comic-Con. We'll of course be at AwesomeCon, which is coming up very soon. But what's coming up the most soon
is Free Comic Book Day.
Free Comic Book Day.
Following the opening day of Age of Ultron, there will be Free Comic Book Day. And Kevin, you were saying something to me a little earlier this afternoon. I was so busy I didn't get to pay attention to everything, but
yes, sir.
I believe you used the word cause and the word player in the same sentence.
Oh my goodness. We've got, well, when I say we, I don't actually work here, but this store, Flashback Comics, has got some really nice prizes for cosplayers. There's going to be a cosplay contest. First prize, $100 toward a gift certificate toward the store. Not handing you a bill, but handed you a gift certificate toward anything you want in the store. Second prize, $50 toward anything you want in the store. And third prize, the owner of the shop, not this guy, the shorter, angrier looking guy that you saw a couple of episodes ago, will buy that third place winner the sandwich of their choice, because we're gonna have a food truck here. Magic Mike's Barbecue is gonna be right here.
It may actually be the finest barbecue in a 5-county radius.
I'm really excited. I love some good barbecue, and so come on in. There's gonna be like last year. There's gonna be a bunch of tables with some local artists, local craftsmen, showing stuff, and and Ben Shaw,
correctly spelled with an exclamation point,
and a bunch of other folks. And I think we're going to get a fairly decent amount of decent cosplayers. We've all been reaching out to some. I got a new group today, so...
incredible.
Yeah, we've got some people coming. Seriously, we might have a group coming from Toronto, Canada.
My God.
They said Toronto, and I'm like, what? Is there a Toronto in Maryland? They're like, no, they were already coming to my house to meet up, and for this time, and so we're just going to go to wherever. And I think I've got them convinced to come to this store rather than the store that they were originally going to go to, because that store just has just blows out comics and doesn't have an event, and we have an event.
We have an event, ladies and
gentlemen.
I
will be here, and Troy will be here, and
I will.
Troy will be doing lots of selling. Marc and I will be doing some sort of interviewing of cosplayers. So promote your craft and that.
ComicsOnline.com, live at Flashback Comics, ladies and gentlemen.
Recording live. You want this?
Yes, you do.
You want to be on the show? You want to have your voice heard? Come on down. May 2nd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The store will be actually open later if you can't quite cut away early enough. But you really do want to be here for all the events and get here. First come, first serve when it comes to the free comic books.
Oh yeah.
And most of the things they're going to have a ton of, but you never know what they're going to run out of first. So get here.
Yeah. So and
there's something else.
Let's go have dinner.
All right. Stay tuned for part 2, and then also we will see you next week.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for coming.
From leaping tall buildings to going off like gamma bombs. Switch your internet browser to ComicsOnline.com.